Hulk versus Superman.
We're saying who's stronger.
Who's stronger? But then we'll talk about who do you think would actually win.
I feel this is the classic versus. This defines you as a nerd, I think, this matchup.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so...
And by that, you mean you explain it to me,
I'll
because I
explain
don't
it
get
to
it.
you in a variety of convoluted, roundabout ways that conflict with one another, because they're comic book characters.
Gotcha, good.
So, okay, here we go. So, the Hulk has class 100 strength, right?
Yes.
They're in different universes.
Yes.
I would say DC characters overall are more powerful than
I'd agree with
Marvel
that.
characters, like with exceptions of like Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Marvel characters are supposed to be more like street level characters.
Yeah.
They're more relatable. The Hulk's definitely more relatable,
Yes.
right? On that level, the Hulk is the winner. So the Hulk has class 100 strength, right?
Yes.
Which means he can lift in excess of 100 tons.
Yes.
What that in excess is, we don't really know.
It depends on his rage levels.
Yes, and you would say...
And whether he's tired.
And whether he's tired or hangry. He might be hangry. So, the rule with the Hulk's strength is, the madder he gets, the stronger he gets.
Yes.
Right? And you would say, well, his rage is unlimited.
Yes.
So his strength is unlimited.
Mm.
But
Yep.
is it?
Rage isn't unlimited, is it?
No, it's probably not.
There's
But
a
also,
cap on that.
yeah, there's a cap on rage, I think. The Hulk, his strength is shown in that he's a giant, he's a 9-foot tall guy with big green
his strength is in his
It's
physicality.
literally in his physicality,
Yeah.
right? And, comic book wise, he actually physically does get larger
Yes.
as he gets more angry.
Yeah.
And since he doesn't become 1,000 feet tall,
Yes.
there is a limit to how strong he gets,
Yes.
I think.
Okay.
So, Superman, as we've mentioned,
Yeah.
Superman, like, if you take his powers away, he's still a strong guy, because
Mhm.
he's 6'4" or whatever, and he's muscular or whatever.
Yeah.
But his strength isn't in that.
No.
Or maybe it is. I imagine the Kryptonian physiology.
There's
he can
some.
lift-
It's
there's
some of it,
He can
yeah.
lift some. He can lift some pretty heavy stuff.
And he does CrossFit.
He does CrossFit. He does hot yoga. He does all that stuff. But his power is in that, as with a lot of his powers, his strength acts on some sort of fundamental force of the universe.
Mm.
Like, you know how Superboy, his
Yeah.
ability is he's got touch telekinesis. Like, he
Yes.
can touch an object and just lift it. Or
Yeah.
he can touch like a gun and it breaks into little pieces.
Yeah.
I think Superman's power is similar to that,
Uh-huh.
insofar as he can touch, like, we're talking about a battleship or a cruise ship or a submarine.
Yeah.
Just lifts it up. Like, he generates sort of a field around it,
Yeah.
around that object, and he can just lift it.
Hence why it doesn't snap in
It
half.
doesn't snap in half.
But
exactly.
say the Hulk, who could maybe, like, if he tried to lift something like a battleship,
Uh-huh.
it would just snap in half. Like,
Yes.
it couldn't structurally support itself.
I mean, you could lift one edge and fling it.
Yeah,
probably.
sure.
Yeah.
But, like, he couldn't lift the whole thing without it breaking it. It's like the Titanic sinking.
Yeah,
It would just
uh-huh.
snap in half.
Yeah.
But effectively, Superman could pick up a battleship and hit the Hulk with it.
Yeah.
And it would not snap
Yeah.
until it hit him.
Or throw it like a spear.
Yes. So on that level, you're saying Superman is stronger.
Correct.
So is a lot of Superman's strength, would you say, then, he doesn't actually need to physically exert himself as much as he thinks he does? Is that the limitations of him growing up on Earth and thinking this is how things work?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Although somebody sent me I think it might be from World War Hulk,
Mm.
or Planet Hulk, or one of those.
Yeah.
Certainly a space-based Hulk
A
situation.
Hulk comic.
A Hulk comic.
Yes.
Where the Hulk blows up a planet. Like, he punches a planet to pieces. And it's
Okay.
quite recent.
Sure.
That's ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. It's bloody ridiculous. Like, if we're talking numbers, there's in Secret Wars,
Mhm.
which is a comic book from the 80s,
Yeah.
all the heroes are under, like, this mountain range that's collapsing, and the Hulk lifts it up.
Yeah.
And it weighs, like, 275,000 tons or something like that. It's pretty heavy, right?
That's pretty heavy.
Pretty heavy. But I maintain he was only lifting one edge. He wasn't holding the whole thing up, was he? It's ridiculous.
So you're saying that he can't punch a planet in half even though he has?
Yes.
Or he shouldn't be able to?
I shouldn't be able to.
Based on
I think
his
it's a bit
powers.
silly. Look, I think, and it's similar to that, when you see Wolverine, caught in an explosion,
Yeah.
and it reduces him to just his skeleton, and then the next page he's fine again.
Yeah.
Like, even all his hair's grown back.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's that powers evolve in these fictional universes.
Mm.
But the point of the Wolverine isn't that he's got this magical, like, he can't draw from some sort of parallel universe and grow all his skin, all his flesh cells back.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got he just heals faster than a human does.
Yeah.
A regular human.
Sure.
So it's a bit silly. So what I'm saying is the Hulk punching a hole in a planet, a bit silly.
That comes back to, I remember, you like this for any movie. Or any universe.
See about that.
And like, if you've got a set of rules, if you impose limitations on a character or a universe, like the Hulk or Superman, then you should stay within that, or
Yeah.
it's nonsense. The rules can be whatever,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They can
but
be
you
ridiculous.
have to stick to them.
Yeah.
And you're saying the scenarios where they break those rules is wrong.
Correct.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Which is why in the Superman movies,
Mm.
he's always been like the 70s Superman.
Yes.
Like, I don't like those movies. I don't think they're good.
Mm-hmm.
But when the first Superman movie was created, he had the 70s Superman powers where he could basically do anything. He could fly around the world in reverse time, and he could, punch planets around or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the Superman comic books,
Mm.
they changed the continuity, so he was much less powerful.
Yeah.
But in the movies, he stayed the Silver Age 70s Superman with all the crazy powers.
Yeah, the Man of Steel one's moved away from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Keep it consistent. So
Yeah.
I respect that. I just don't think they're very good films. Anyway.
In your face, Richard Donner.
That's right. In your face, Christopher Reeve. Oh, what have I done? Anyway, in All, you remember All-Star Superman?
Of course.
In All-Star Superman, Superman gets his powers quadrupled,
Mm-hmm.
and he can lift like 200 quintillion tons with one hand.
Okay.
Remember that?
Oh, when he has the thing on
he's
his,
like
he's
the
pressing
pressure
on
test.
that thing. Yeah. I remember
So if we use some basic mathematics,
yes.
hang on, this is going to take.
And he
forever.
says even in it that like this isn't even the extent of my
Right.
powers. I feel like I could do
Yeah.
this further.
So that means with both hands he can lift 400 quintillion tons,
Yes.
right? And then so that means when he's not powered, when he's not quadruple powered, he can lift 100 quintillion tons. In your face, the Hulk. And I mean that story's out of continuity. It's a bit silly.
Yeah.
It's like the 1970s silly Hulk,
Sure.
the silly Superman where
Yeah.
he can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a level also of if Superman fought the Hulk,
Yes.
even if they were evenly matched in strength,
Yep.
or even if the Hulk was stronger, Superman would still beat him.
Yes.
Because he'd outsmart him or just fling him into space.
Yeah.
That's all it would take.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think.
Or beat him with a big punch.
Yes.
Which also happened. So they've actually fought before several times.
Yeah.
Most recently was Marvel vs. DC, which was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And that was... But again, these debates will never end.
No.
Because the Hulk that Superman fought then was the Professor Hulk, which is the...
Oh, he's not as angry or as strong.
He's not as angry or as strong. He's smarter than most Hulks.
Yeah.
He's the smartest of the Hulks, but he's not the strongest.
Okay.
He was the one that was he was always the Hulk all the
Yeah.
time. So I think people will be like, well, Superman beat him then, but he wasn't the strongest version.
Yeah.
But then Superman wasn't the strongest version, or was he? That was the Superman who just come back from the dead, and his power levels were increasing. So
Yeah.
he was very powerful,
Yeah.
but he wasn't 1970 Superman
No.
powerful.
That was when he got all his powers because the Eradicator got shot and the powers
With a
went into him.
kryptonite gun.
Yeah, and then he got more and more powerful until he turned into pure electricity.
Correct, and then he became Electric Superman.
And then he became electric blue and electric red.
Superman, yes. And now he's just regular.
Yeah, now he's back.
But his underpants are not on the outside anymore.
That's right.
So I think it's a win for everyone.
Yes. Wow, that was intense, but I'm glad we talked it out.
I'm not. No, I'm okay with it.
Red hot comic book movie news. Shoot